Supervisors, please take your seats. Okay. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and good evening again. If you'd please press your P and plus for attendance. It appears we have everyone here. I'm not aware of anyone missing. One more. Supervisor who? Frederick. Ron Frederick. There we go. 28 in attendance. First order of business is citizen comments. Any citizens here wishing to address the board, please approach the microphone, state your name and address. You will have 5 minutes to speak. Any citizens wishing to speak? Anyone? Just here for the entertainment. Citizen comments are closed. A couple of last-minute announcements from the chairman is all I have. First and foremost, on your desk this evening is the information for the United Way campaign that the clerk has placed on all of our desks. I would ask you to take a moment to look through that. Questions, you certainly may contact the clerk. Secondly, to clarify a couple of issues that have transpired with your agenda, you understand that the agenda has been modified. Resolution 70, the original 79, which was the insurance compensation package, I should say, for the county supervisors, that came out of committee, and the specifics of that were that it would to be placed on the December 7th agenda. It was inadvertently placed on tonight's agenda. It was corrected to be placed on December 7th, so it will be on December 7th's agenda. Secondly, I approached the committee last night, asked them to reconsider that particular resolution to bring forth on the 7th. The reason I asked them to reconsider it is the obvious discontent with the 50% salary increase that has already garnered some less than support. I have my reservations about whether that's wise. I asked the committee to hold that discussion yet again before December 7th and bring forward either the same resolution, a new resolution, something with regard to the total compensation package. So it will be here on the 7th. The Administration Committee is holding a meeting on Monday the 22nd at 6:30, and that topic will be discussed once again. That's all I have, I believe. Supervisor reports. Any supervisor? Supervisor Boyd Frederick.
Just want to let everyone know I'm having a food drive over the next month in and around District 16. There'll be 4 locations, including the M&I Bank, the Bank at Kenosha, Carl's Pizza, and Haggerty Insurance, where you can drop off perishables. It'll be from the 22nd of November to December 20th. Please stop by one of these locations if you would. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Bruning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last Tuesday, I attended the sewer pack meeting up in Waukesha. We have finalized the last 3 chapters of the water study. It was passed through over to the full board, and the commission will be acting on that in December. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other supervisor reports? Seeing none. Clerk.
Ordinance, 1 reading, number 15, from Land Use Committee regarding Payne and Dolan Incorporated rezoning from R2 Suburban Single Family Residential District, M2 Heavy Manufacturing District, A2 General Agricultural District, and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District to R2 Suburban Single Family Residential District, M2 Heavy Manufacturing District, B3 Highway Business District, and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District, and the Town of Paris. Submitted by the Land Use. Brunig, yes. Esposito, yes. Kohlmeyer, yes. Underhill, yes. Decker, excused.
All right, before we proceed, I have 14 in front of me that was in the packet and 15 on the agenda, and I see the clerk's resolution stated 15. So I want to be clear which one we're looking at before we move further. In fact, my packet has Payne and Dolan listed as 14 and 15, and I apologize for not catching this beforehand, but Supervisor Bruning, any, do you understand why we have what we have here?
I don't know, my sheet from Planning and Development also says ordinance 15 is Payne and Dolan.
Do you have your packet in front of you?
I have my packet in front of me. It
Do you have,
says,
do you have 14 and 15 in there?
I do
in
have
your packet?
14 and 15 in here. Right.
It was incorrect on the previous one of these that was mailed out also. I just looked.
My point is I have two ordinances in front of me, 14 and 15, both for Payne and Dolan. They are both different. Whoop, let me rephrase that.
No, one is Payne and Dolan, the other one is for debris.
All right, 15 is, okay. All right, what I'm going to do is we're going to move as ordinance number 15, and I will leave it to the clerk to clarify it. Supervisor Bruning?
Move ordinance 15.
Ordinance 15 is moved by Supervisor Brunig and seconded by Supervisor Esposito. Supervisor Brunig.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This property is located on the west side of 120th Avenue, approximately 0.7 miles north of State Trunk Highway 142, which is Burlington Road. The rezoning will allow the construction of a new office and an area for additional aggregate storage. The Town of Paris recommended approval of the request. If you look at your map that you have in front of you, the A2, which is being switched to B3, that is the area that they are going to be building. It's on the north side. That is where they're going to put their new office. And the portion where it is by the pond, where it is C1 moving to M2, we have a letter in Planning and Development from Heidi Kennedy from the DNR, who has stated that this is a man-made pond and that there is no problem for them filling it in and using that as the storage area. They are going to use the current driveway into the facility and take it up along the A2 portion next to the C1 into the new office area. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to speak on the issue? Supervisor Noble.
I know I've spoke to the chairman of land use about this before, but I have a recollection that there's something to do with a 2-year renewable something 2-year renewable, I'm going to say, the word escapes me right now. Conditional use permit? Did you look into that at all?
Supervisor Bruning.
Yes, I did look into it, and this one does not have a CUP attached to it. This is zoned for the correct business area.
Thank you.
Any other supervisor comments on ordinance number 15? Seeing no lights, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Ordinance 16, Land Use Committee, sponsor Peter and Donna Debris, owners, requesting rezoning from R4 Urban Single Family Residential District and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District to R4 Urban Single Family Residential District and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District in the Town of Paris. Submitted by Land Use, Brunig, yes. Esposito, yes. Kohlmeyer, yes. Underhill, yes. Decker, excused.
Supervisor Bruning.
Move ordinance 16.
Ordinance 16 moved by Supervisor Bruning, seconded by Supervisor Kohlmeyer. Supervisor Bruning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This property is located on the west side of 238th Avenue, approximately 470 feet north of 84th Street. The rezoning is considered a map amendment to reflect actual field conditions. The Town of Salem recommended approval of the request.
Thank you. Anyone on the question? Ordinance number 16. Seeing no lights, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, ordinance 16 carries.
Resolutions, one reading, 79 from Human Service Committee, a resolution to approve the reappointment of Charles Burmeister to the Kenosha County Veterans Service Commission. Rose, yes. Jeff Gents, yes. Celebrate, yes. Gable, yes. Arrington, yes.
Supervisor Rose.
Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Human Services Committee, I would move resolution number 79.
Resolution 79 moved by Supervisor Rose, seconded by Supervisor Jeff Gents. Supervisor Rose.
The resolution is the appointment of Charles Burmeister to the Kenosha County Veterans Service Commission. Mr. Burmeister has currently served on that commission for the last 3 years. This is a reappointment. He has attended 29 out of 30 meetings. He has retired from the United States Air Force Reserve. He's also served with the United States Air Force for a period of 4 years, as well as the National Guard. He has also retired from Wisconsin Energy Corporation, has been active, as you can see from the biographical sketch, in many veterans organizations in the community, including the American Legion and VFW. The committee considered the reappointment and unanimously endorsed it, and we would ask your approval this evening.
Thank you. Supervisor Zerban.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I actually am not wishing to speak on this resolution. I actually would just like to be recognized after both resolutions have been read and voted upon, and be recognized before we adjourn.
I will recognize you.
Thank you.
Remember, it needs to be posted. Any other comments on Resolution 79? Seeing no lights, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? The appointment of Mr. Burmeister passes. Supervisor Zerban.
Can I be recognized after Resolution 80?
There is no resolution.
I'm looking at the old agenda. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to appeal the decision to put the insurance issue back to committee.
I don't believe that is an appropriate motion, nor one that is on the agenda for any action, so I will not recognize that motion. But I will add this. It was a consensus of the committee to revisit that issue. It's not an issue for the county board to discuss. Any committee can reconsider anything.
And Mr. Chairman, any decision can be appealed according to our bylaws.
You'd have to appeal that to the chairman of the administration committee, not to the county board chairman. Motion to adjourn is in order. Supervisor Clark, seconded by Supervisor Rose. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.